What was the United States really hiding beneath Greenland's ice? For decades, Greenland has been portrayed as a vast, frozen wilderness, empty, silent, and untouched. But beneath the ice, hidden from satellites and the public eye, lies a story that was never meant to be told. A story involving secret military bases, nuclear weapons, abandoned tunnels, and declassified documents that raised more questions than answers. This is not a legend that began centuries ago. This is a story that began during the Cold War, when fear was at its peak and secrecy was absolute. During the late 1950s, the United States became obsessed with one idea: survival. As tensions with the Soviet Union escalated, American military strategists searched for locations that were remote, defensible, and nearly impossible to attack. Greenland quickly became the perfect candidate. It was isolated, it was sparsely populated, and most importantly, it was covered in miles of ice. Officially, the US announced a scientific research facility known as Camp Century. The public was told it was a peaceful project designed to study ice formations, climate conditions, and the structural behavior of glaciers. On paper, it was harmless. Beneath the surface, it was something else entirely. Hidden under the ice, engineers carved out an underground city. Camp Century wasn't a single building. It was a network of tunnels, living quarters, laboratories, hospitals, and power systems buried deep inside the Greenland ice sheet. The base was powered by a portable nuclear reactor quietly humming beneath the frozen surface. Soldiers lived there year-round, walking through frozen corridors reinforced by steel and ice. But Camp Century was only the beginning. Behind classified doors, the true project had a different name: Project Iceworm. According to declassified military documents, Project Iceworm was an ambitious and terrifying plan to deploy hundreds of nuclear missiles beneath Greenland's ice. These missiles wouldn't be fixed in place. Instead, they would be mounted on mobile rail systems, constantly moving through underground tunnels. The idea was simple. If the missiles were always moving, they could never be targeted. The ice itself would become the ultimate camouflage. Plans detailed a massive underground network stretching thousands of miles beneath Greenland, with launch sites hidden far below the surface. The scale was enormous, far beyond anything the public was ever told. Some documents suggest the tunnel system was intended to cover an area larger than several European countries combined. But there was a problem. Ice is not stable. Over time, the glaciers shifted, cracked, and crushed the tunnels. Walls bent, ceilings collapsed, entire sections became unsafe. Engineers realized the ice could not support the infrastructure required for the project. Officially, Project Iceworm was canceled in the mid-1960s. Officially, Camp Century was abandoned, the nuclear reactor was removed, and the United States claimed the tunnels were left to be reclaimed by the ice. But decades later, new questions began to surface. As ice cores were studied and documents declassified, researchers discovered something unsettling. Not everything was removed. Radioactive waste, diesel fuel, sewage, and unknown materials were left behind, entombed beneath the ice. As Greenland's ice continues to melt, scientists now warn that these materials may eventually resurface. And that's where the urban legends begin. Some claim the base was never fully abandoned. Others believe additional facilities, never documented, were constructed deeper within the ice. Leaked diagrams and disputed documents describe mobile power systems, sealed chambers, and tunnels extending far beyond Camp Century's known footprint. Locals and researchers alike have reported strange anomalies: unexplained heat signatures beneath the ice, radar readings showing hollow spaces where none should exist, restricted zones with no official explanation. The most unsettling theory suggests that Project Iceworm was not entirely dismantled, but fragmented, that pieces of it were moved, repurposed, or hidden elsewhere under Greenland's ice sheet. There are no confirmed answers. The US government maintains that the project ended decades ago, But the full extent of what was built and what may still remain has never been completely disclosed. Greenland is vast, its ice is deep, and much of what lies beneath it has never been seen by human eyes. So the question remains, was Project Iceworm truly abandoned? Or is something still buried beneath Greenland's ice, waiting to be uncovered?